river cities aren't the only ones impacted by spring flooding.
Yeah, some Minnesota farm fields are drowning too. WCCO's Marielle Mose brings us to a North Metro farm that is having to improvise at a time when they should be planting.
So we've got herbs, peppers.
Jessica Greendeer shows all the veggies, lettuces, and herbs growing in her greenhouse at Dream of Wild Health Farm in Hugo. This warm, dry room is a big help to her business when their main growing field looks like this. And they're not alone. Neighboring fields are dealing with the same standing water when they should be prepping the ground for the growing season.
The water has collected, and essentially the earth hasn't completely thawed out for that water to filter down.
If this field were dry behind me, they'd be getting ready to plant a variety of things from potatoes, tomatoes, and carrots. But because of all the water, they're going to have to delay that planting.
There's times that we do have plants in the ground by mid-April.
Greendeer is planning to sell at the farmer's market by June 1st. Her greenhouse is ensuring some products will be ready to go. But for other food, she has no choice to wait until this field dries up.
There are some things that benefit from just going into the ground. So something like a carrot, radishes. If we tried to transplant them, we'd have, a weird-looking carrot.
Her farm only grows indigenous foods, meaning they're crops that originated in the Americas. And many indigenous communities in the Twin Cities rely on her.
The native urban population of the Twin Cities is what I think in excess of 50,000. Our food that leaves the farm affects essentially 12,000 of those folks every single year.
She's hoping this dries up as quickly as it arrived. In Hugo, Marielle Mose, WCCO News.
Now remember, Minnesota farmers have dealt with a drought in recent years as well, so they are hoping that this flooding at least leaves behind a rich, moisture-packed soil for the rest of their growing season.
I feel like we've seen that a little bit, Chris. Where I look around, I see lush green yards already. I have to imagine they're pretty saturated from this winter.
Yeah, the drought conditions are pretty much limited to western Minnesota at this point, and once we get deeper into spring, I'm sure we're going to see things are all good here. Like in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's doing great right now. Yesterday at this time, I was telling you all that it was going to be cold, windy, and wet for the next few days.